like to do for 15 or 20 minutes is to have a conversation about this new form of grieving. Family can't be with those who are at the point of end of life. Vice versa, the person who is terminally ill could be alone themselves. I was struck by this the other day because I had a close friend who passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And, there's just no way that we will have a service for her anytime in the near future.
Exactly.
And you're feeling like you're just hanging there without any kind of way to process this.
Yeah.
What tools do you all use to help with this weird moment?
Most of us, even though a lot of us have been doing this work for a long time, we're really sort of taking it day by day and moment to moment sometimes. But the bottom line is, I think when it comes to support, just being able to validate where anyone is in any given moment. I mean, just like you said, it'll be a while before your friend's life can be celebrated and acknowledge that it's come to an end. And that living in limbo is so incredibly hard. And that's what's so hard about this whole situation is that we all want some kind of finish line or some kind of date when life will, as we know it, go back to what we consider to be normal. And we grieve when we realize that's actually not a choice right now. And we even created a support group that we're just doing teleconference wise with our non-clinical staff and then a support group for our clinical staff, because we know that while we're doing the work, it's imperative that people are getting that opportunity to process, hear each other, because so many things of what we're feeling is, are the same and they're very similar. We're trying very hard to do that with our families that we take care of too. Even though the level of support might look different than it has before COVID-19, that support is still there.
So the other challenge, of course, is the fact that many people are going to be in hospice care or in some other hospital institution, and they won't be able to see anybody. That's a unique challenge for someone who is presumably going through the last phase of their lives.
Yeah. What we're doing is if hospice patients are somewhat what you would call status quo, pretty much the same on a day-to-day basis. They're getting, what they need from the nurse and the social worker. Family members are not permitted to come in. However, when we anticipate that it's the last 48 hours of life, then we allow 2 family members at a time to come in, under the understanding that they will take the necessary precautions. It's a hard thing right now to find balance with. I really think it depends on each individual family. What are they most comfortable with? And making sure that we have staff who are able and willing to help carry that out. And what I mean when I'm saying that is maybe someone who's in one of our centers and wants to FaceTime with a loved one, making sure that that patient has everything that they need, to be able to do that, and so that they that they are at least able to get that connection, And we've gotten quite a few calls from families who and they're actually calling, say, for an elderly parent who is already in our grief services because maybe 3 months ago they had a spouse die. Well, now they can't get there to see that parent. So could we call once a week to keep in touch and give them that outlet, which we're doing. We're doing more phone calls than we've ever done before. And we've always been pretty active with our support. but again, trying to make sure that people don't forget that they have options.
Is there value added in making sure that somebody has an iPad so they can have that video or visual experience?
I definitely think there is. I know for the people that I've been able to, well, take for instance the parent group last night. I could have done a teleconference call, but we would have never seen each other's faces. But the Zoom platform allowed for us to actually lay eyes on each other, and that was so much more therapeutic. We've always said that grief isn't about death as much as it's really just about loss, right? So loss of normalcy, loss of financial stability, loss of a job, wondering if when this starts to go back to normal, what will that look like for certain people? Loss of just connectivity with people you're used to being seen. You know, we have Easter this weekend, and that's such a big deal in so many families, and to not have those moments that make life so tolerable and special. You know, grief is a really, really huge component to all of this.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
sure we'll be